Hi, welcome to PDQ Live. I'm Tara.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Brock.
We have Brock here today to tell us all about Patch Tuesday. Was it a good one?
It was a good one.
Okay. Then we are going to finish up our State of SysAdmin report. And you're going to talk us through how to get Connect set up if you have never set it up before. The basics, right?
Yeah. We've heard quite a bit of feedback for people that have had Connect for first time user for maybe 2.5, maybe 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That it's like, hey, this is really cool. I can do a bunch of stuff, but I'm stuck in this policy mindset because PDQ operates a little differently than a lot of other tools in the manner that we give you lots of building blocks, but it's not always immediately apparent how they go together.
Yeah.
So let's walk through, we'll go through the quick start wizard, and then we'll build an automation or the semblance of a policy that you might have somewhere else.
I love it. But first, as always, Kelly, what do you got?
I know. I have an announcement. Shocking, right?
Shocker.
Okay, mark this on your calendar. March 18th, 11 a.m. Mountain Time or 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. I did that just for Josh. It is going to be pretty cool. We'll be talking to some former customers current customers that used to use deploy and inventory, and they have since migrated to Connect. And they're going to talk about that entire process, what motivated them to move from DNI to Connect, and when and if it makes sense to move or use both. So should be pretty cool. Just SysAdmin to SysAdmin. So once again, March 18th, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. I will post the webinar registration link in the YouTube chat. Boom, right there. There you go.
Woohoo.
That should be good.
Kelly.
I always enjoy hearing from the actual community and users and stuff like that and their experiences. So
Now, did we lose the stream or are we really up? Because we're getting an error on our side, you guys.
I know what it is.
Okay.
It's me.
It's you. Okay, as long as it's you. Okay.
It's not me,
so
it's you.
we are going to start with Connect. Yes? Josh, you're going to begin?
Nope.
No,
Okay. We're here with Brock.
Yes.
We're going to go.
Brock.
We're going to go
Okay,
this way down the couch. We're going to go Brock, me, you.
Brock, tell us all about it.
So close.
he even warned us. He's like, I got stingers for every
He did.
segment.
He did.
We'll never get it right.
We
What was
never
that
will.
one show that we got him all right, but
Jake was producing.
Jake, that was right. God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I think we've narrowed down where the issue lies. I'm just kidding. I love you, Drew. Patch Tuesday. It was awesome. It was actually legitimately, this was probably one of the better months that I've seen in a while, I feel like. First of all, Patch Tuesday special, right? For a myriad of reasons. For SysAdmins, you either like it or I assume most people hate it. But this Patch Tuesday was actually special because it was also March 10th, Mario Day. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. We all get to celebrate our Mario. I grew up with Mario. I loved Mario. Mario 64 was my jam.
Mm-hmm.
But I grew up with the original Mario too. And I was wondering if I could get Tara to say the Mario line. It's a me. I think she should say
It's
it.
me.
It's a me.
How's that?
That's pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you.
But it was also National Ranch Day, so I don't think she still knows that I gave her a big shout out on last Patch Tuesday. But happy National Ranch Day to our very own security team lead Ranch building. So
Yeah, she still probably has no idea.
that we're talking about her. And
well, yeah, she doesn't know that we're talking about her here. She doesn't know she's in a video that got released a couple days ago. Wonderful.
Pictures in it and everything.
Yeah.
Definitely no security concerns there.
No.
But anyway, so the severity, we had 78 total patches. 3 of them were critical, the rest of those being important. We only had 16 RCEs, so that's not bad. The majority of these are going to be elevation of privilege. And compared to last month, we're doing a lot better on the 0 days. We only had 2 publicly disclosed, and none of those were being actively exploited. So this month is actually way more chill than last month was, even though last month had fewer total CVEs. One of the highest rated ones and also one of the 2 publicly known ones was CVE 2026-21262, and this is a SQL Server exploit that would allow you to allow a user to elevate their privileges, right? So if you have a low privilege user on there, they could elevate those. So if you run a SQL Server and you have users on there that are lower privileged and you don't necessarily trust them, maybe do something about it. get that patch probably pretty quickly. But the rest of these, I mean, nothing was like super crazy. We had CVE 2026-26127. This was an out of bounds read vulnerability discovered in .NET. This one could lead to like denial of service attacks. And I mean, that's pretty bad because there's a ton of .NET applications out there, obviously, in enterprise environments. So that one could be pretty bad, but denial of service generally aren't. I mean, RCEs are usually your big concern there, but still definitely something to watch out for. And the last one, this one was fun to see again, was CVE 2026-23669. And this was, if you guys remember Print Nightmare a while back, people taking advantage of the print spooler. Yeah, it made a comeback this month. So
hooray!
Yeah, exactly. It's like, man, can we just get rid of printers already? Can we just figure out some other form of communication other than a piece of paper that's been printed?
You would hope.
Yeah.
You would hope.
So one day, guys, we'll get there. But anyways, yeah, Patch Tuesday is pretty good this month.
Yeah, all in all, nothing too scary.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you haven't already, go watch Brock's video.
Yeah.
Especially Ranch.
Especially Ranch.
You're going to tell her.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that one day she just stumbles across it somehow.
I won't tell her.
Way in the future.
I won't tell her.
Just like years from now, she's like, holy crap.
That would be the best way.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, Drew Stinger.
Go.
That was so rough.
We figured out the secret. We just tell him when to run it.
I don't want to mess that one up, so there we go.
All right, here we go. So yeah, like we talked about in the open here. We're going to talk through Connect because Connect does things a little bit differently. And those of us that have been around PDQ for a while, it follows the same pattern that Deploy and Inventory did. So if you can, if it's been a while, go all the way back to when you first got into Deploy and Inventory and think about like you get this playground and you can do really anything you want. But when you start to think on a more policy-driven scale, or I want this thing to happen all the time, there's a couple building blocks you have to put together, and it's not inherently obvious. So if you jump in, I've got a new tenant of PDQ Connect here. This is what you're initially presented with. You get the start with popular software, probably a good thing to do. But today, we're going to keep this one really clean so it's easy to show the individual building blocks. So we're going to do a custom selection. And we're only going to do 7-zip. That's really it. Just so we get it in there and we only build the one thing. Okay? So you will notice that it does a couple of things. It builds some device groups for us, right? And that was the first kind of building block to make this happen. It actually built 3 of them. And so if you're doing new software, if you're the first one in here, this is the first pattern you want to match. So if I open this thing up here and I go to edit, right? This is the targeting definition. This is what you look for or is missing, is old or out of date, right? And you'll see that there's now variables. This is another really kind of common misconception. People think you have to type in here everything you're looking for. There's a ton in here and they start to do like a fuzzy match, right? So if I do this and I start typing, right, I can find them in this list. So I can get in here and I can start looking for everything. So maybe you went in that first part and you only did 7-zip because you're like, I don't want all the bloat. Get it. It's not bloat, but that's the default path, right? So you come in here and you can pick them. That's our first building block. That's what's getting devices into groups. The second building block, which is really obvious in Deploy and Inventory, but isn't quite so obvious inside of Connect, is the package library. You click over here in packages, and yeah, you can come over here and scroll, but it's really, really search driven. So like for 7-zip, you don't know it's immediately available to you. Right? It is just by being listed here. It's just there and you can use it. In the deploy kind of paradigm, you had to go find the library, you had to download it, and that was our second building block. So this one is still the same building block, but it's just in a different place. It's just immediately there and available to you. Okay, so now we've got our group here, 7-zip. We already have the package in the library that's available to us to be able to do something with it. So now I can build an automation. So translating from deploy, this was your schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So now if I come over here into automations, we can see that this one was built for me by that first start wizard. So if I fire this thing open.
Important to note that it's not enabled. It wasn't enabled by default.
It's not, right? It's got a name, it's got a trigger, and it's got a target. So this one is only 7-zip old because it's updating 7-zip. Well, let's say I wanted to change this, right? I could also have this be 7-zip not installed. So I can combine these two things into one.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say, if it's not there, or if it's out of date, install it. Finally, I've got this automatic trigger. What this does is if there's a new version of 7-zip released to the package library, it will automatically patch and deploy to 7-zip old and 7-zip not installed.
Mm-hmm.
So when I click this enabled button and hit save, essentially with 3 different building blocks, I've created this policy that says anytime that a new computer comes in to connect, if it does not have 7-zip, or if the version of 7-zip is out of date, install and or update it.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I don't need to do anything else
Yeah.
for 7-zip in my environment. You repeat this process for all of the software you want, or you go and back to that first start wizard, and then you pick it there the first time, and all of these are built for you, and all you have to do is make the minor tweaks like we just did today.
Yeah. I love that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Which is crazy because within like a minute of getting started, you have your group, you have your package, you have your automation, like all built out. And like you said, it's like, okay, my work here is done, and you just let it do its thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you do. And but if you go back to that frame of reference where you're dropped into Connect for that very, very first time, and you've never been in the PDQ ecosystem and the PDQ way of doing things,
Yeah.
it's not super obvious that those are the 3 building blocks
Mm-hmm.
unless you start with that wizard.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that helps people that are kind of new to the product that you're getting in here. That's the kind of thought pattern and how we follow through and how we're thinking about keeping your devices up to date.
Yeah.
So you don't just have to use this as this manual, go start doing things.
I love it.
Yeah, I usually try to tell people it's like, pay attention to the data that we collect, use that data to filter and build groups, then use those groups as targets for deployments and automations.
Yes.
It's like it all starts with the data, and then it just builds from there. And like you said, they're building blocks.
Yeah.
You just
And they're things that we take for granted because we talk about this and we live in this product all the time is you think about a group and immediately most of us think, oh, I'm building a group because I'm targeting something. But that's not an inherently obvious thing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are building groups because they're just like grouping things together and they think a targeting thing is separate.
Mm-hmm.
So it's this new kind of paradigm.
And that people can kind of like underestimate the power of the groups too. It's like they want to do something, they don't realize that they can already do that if they just build the group outright.
Yep.
If they're trying to filter for something specific, and I feel like there's a lot of left on the table where people's like, I build the group where this software is old, but it goes so much further than that.
Absolutely, it does. All right.
I'm going to go remake all my groups now.
Why? Just for fun?
Yeah, well, I like this logic a lot better because it's been, 2-3 years?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like this better now.
Yeah.
I'm going to start all over. You've inspired me, Josh.
Great. Yep, just delete it all.
Okay, I'm actually going to. You're mocking me, but I'm going to, yeah.
Great.
You know I am.
Alrighty, that's it for me. I think for the last half of the show, we got to go over the last half of State of SysAdmin.
Yes, we're going to.
This is the state of system administration.
Wow, that was startling. I mean, you lulled me there for a second. I was like, wow, this is so nice. And then I was like, ah! Did you guys get scared too?
The Kelly voice drop in there
I
was
know,
not
wow.
expecting.
Okay, that's all right. That's like
Bit of
IT
whiplash.
work.
Yeah.
All right, ready? Second half. We started last week and covered the data and interpreted it for you. We're going to finish up this week. You ready to look at the slides?
I'm ready.
All right. Technology and the role. So this talks about the skills that sysadmins want to build next. So we did see kind of I think a big jump. What is that? 14%? 16%?
Yeah.
Math is hard.
Yeah, that's 14%.
Okay.
We'll go back to Alex's comment in the beginning, like a bitter rivalry, Americans and math.
Yeah, that's definitely true. So-
and a way to maybe interpret this chart, right? This was a multi-select. So like we're not going to add up to 100 here. We offered the respondents like, pick the things that you think you want to do next.
Yeah.
I really want it to add up to 100. I'm just going to say that again.
It's not going to add up.
I want it to.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, this is a pretty big jump, though, of increase in AI integration for just 1 year.
14% year over year.
Yeah.
That's a big jump.
Yeah. It makes sense, though.
We've got a steady climb in cloud management. Like this is a consistent theme year over year. Another 9 points there.
Yep.
And only 7 points.
Yeah,
automation.
but that makes sense to me because I think sysadmins are innately distrustful. So I get that.
Yeah, I'm curious, like the two, the AI integrations and automation, how much interplay is between those two things? And I'm curious for the audience that's here today, like when you hear automation, are you starting to associate that with AI or the inverse? Or are those two completely distinct things?
Well, you might welcome AI into your environment and go, yeah, let's try it. But automating it, totally separate. You might want to put some guardrails first and go, let's try it before we go ahead and do the automation.
Yeah, I think
that's what I'm perceiving.
The big differentiator for me is trust.
Exactly.
Right. So in my mind, AI automation, same. It's the trust barrier of where that exists.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
And I wonder because I think a lot of people hear automation and they think PowerShell.
Sure.
And they think the skill gap and they think, oh, great, like I've got to learn this thing in order to do this thing. Whereas AI is like, oh, it's just a product I can adopt and it can do the thing for me. It can do the automations for me. And so maybe there's this little transition where people are trying to take that shortcut into automations via AI versus them building something out themselves.
Yeah, that's some fun interplay. And I wonder why we're seeing that larger jump into AI there.
Because, I mean, if you look at like PowerShell adoption, it's still like for as powerful as it is, like the adoption rate of it is still pretty low.
Well, it might not just be the sysadmins that are adopting it. So let's look at the other slides.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it.
I like what Fortress put in here. All AI integrations are automation. Not all automations are AI integrations.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, we can do a callback to like old PDQ webcast where all bourbon is whiskey. But not all whiskey is bourbon.
Yeah.
Is bourbon the one that's in Kentucky?
Yeah.
Oh I knew that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Corn mash bill of 51% or more.
I
White
didn't
oak
know
barrel.
that. Yeah,
It's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. This adds up to 100. Yes, I can get behind this one. Okay. AI and automation.
We can only have Boolean and responses and surveys going forward if Tara's going to present.
Correct.
Noted.
Why is that so hard? Yeah.
Why are you looking at me? I didn't write it.
I don't know, Kelly. We've been arguing about this. Okay. AI and autonomy. Despite the hype, sysadmins want AI. 94% think AI is going to help.
This is overwhelming.
Yeah.
Majority.
That catches me off guard. I mean, we're a pretty sarcastic bunch and, we look down on a lot of things. And so it's crazy that it was that big of a difference, 94 to 6.
So I'm curious, and I definitely want to hear the audience here, is do you think that the question alluded to sysadmins using AI or the users using AI? That's what I want to know.
That's a cool reframe.
Yeah,
because
that would...
Yeah, are you using it for yourself?
Yeah.
Or are you using it as another tool to help your users?
Yeah, that would make more sense in my mind that it's 94%. But not 4% actually references sysadmins, so perhaps I'm wrong.
Ooh, it's another chart you're going to love.
Oh, this one. Oh my gosh. This one is so many numbers. But okay, I think this one's easier to interpret if you look at the white space, the 17, 17, and 24. Kelly's like, you dummy. Gosh. Okay.
No, we went over this yesterday.
Well, and I'm still
He's
not clear.
He's like, I can explain it to you, but I can't make you understand it.
Yeah, I really can't. Sysadmins are leading the AI push. So, it's pretty even. 17, 17, 24. I got to look over here.
Yeah.
Entirely my initiative, mostly my initiative, share initiative. So they were just kind of split. But that part of the chart is sysadmins feel like they have some say partly. 17, 17, 24, whatever that adds up to is sysadmins. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had some say into it, right?
Yeah, I think so. And I think like there's some sentiment in the chat that's like, I want good working AI. I'm curious what that means. Like, what is good working AI? I found some like really meaningful use cases for AI in like my day-to-day. Like Claude and I had a great time with some Excel yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
I mean, it's not perfect. I will say it's not like a easy bake oven where you put something in, something comes out. But it did get me to like 75% there in like half the time.
I want to back up a second. When did you ever make anything in an easy bake oven that came out perfect? Did you?
Well, no, not that it comes out perfect, but
Okay.
that it's just like it's a one shot, right? Where you don't have to do anything else. You're just like, I throw a prompt at it and I expect perfection out. It's absolutely not that.
I kind of think that's a good analogy because easy bake oven pies are cakes are doughy in the middle. So that's a great analogy.
You gotta
actually.
you gotta massage it a little
You
bit.
gotta massage it. You gotta move it midway through the baking process. Yeah, it is kind of just like that.
A little bit, yeah.
I did a lot of eating of easy bake brownies that were gooey in the middle. It was like, get it up.
Yeah. I wonder with SysAdmins kind of like taking a good majority of this push. I wonder what they're pushing out there. I wonder if it's the ChatGPTs or the Claude or Copilot or whatever.
Yeah, is it the
preferred.
interaction with the chat bot flavor of AI, which seems to be like the default. What everybody thinks about when you talk about AI, everyone thinks about the chat bot.
Yeah.
But not necessarily the other implications of it, where it's the more agentic, it's doing something on its behalf without prompting.
Yeah.
Or aggregating data or metrics without prompting.
I think it's all about the prompting. You're going to get as good as you put in my opinion. You've got to
Sure.
clean the data. Clean the data. Negative prompting for me is what helps me get the best results out.
Sure.
I'm impressed by the Excel, though.
It is interesting because I had it do some deep dives into Excel data. I put in like 3 years worth of data that I'd accumulated. And I'll tell you what, it really did help speed the analysis up. And I had already done my preliminary look and had some ideas of the findings just based on what I was seeing. I wanted to verify that through AI. Pumped all that in. And to be honest, I think it did a much better job, a more thorough job than I did. It reinforced my initial findings. And then what I like to do is go from this AI model to a different one and have it pick it apart.
Yep.
And if I go back and forth, I eventually get the most clean, precise version after they've argued it out. So it really is a lot of it's prompting and then how you massage it along the way to get to the best result.
The battle of the bots.
Kelly's doing the 2026 version of holding the two phones end to end after dialing two numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
I like it. Okay.
All right. I think we're going to move on to what next? Technology and the role. So, like, what's changing? What changed between 25 and 26 due to new technology?
So 62% feel like their role expanded and they have a new responsibility.
I mean, AI could
that's a high
probably fill
number.
that slot by itself,
Yeah, 100%. Expected expertise without training. That's a big one.
52.
I think that's the first time we've seen that, right? And I'm wondering if that's also driven by the same conversation we've been having. Is the AI like, you're now expected to be an AI expert. You're now expected to know how to tell people to trust the analysis versus not. You're now expected to know to teach people how to prompt and to get effective results. You're now expected to know what system context is and what context tokens are.
Yeah.
And no one's giving any training. You're just expected to pick this up and know it.
That's true.
Yeah.
52% managing increasingly complex systems. So those are pretty even. A lot of 52s. 52% playing catch up with technology changing. I mean, playing catch up, very common theme in IT. I think that's most IT professionals would probably say, yeah, that's my everyday.
But I feel like we're ramping up and things are coming out quicker. Changes are coming out quicker. And so I feel like it's just that problem of trying to play catch up with technology. I feel like it's probably getting a little worse.
Well, let me ask you this, though. Is AI taking some work off your shoulders, though, because it can do things quicker that you used to have to do on your own?
Yes.
I say yes. Yeah. Chat, what do you say? Chat's sleeping right now, but in a second they're going to wake up.
I think if we go back to that slide just one more time there, Drew, I think, so if you look at the bottom, the top of this is interesting slice. The top of this is like, things are getting harder, things are getting harder, things are getting harder. But then the quick follow is new tools make my job easier and more efficient. Automation is reducing time spent on routine tasks.
Yep.
I think an interesting thing to watch over this next year is, do those bottom like quartile start to make their way to the middle of the pack? Maybe to the top of the pack.
Yeah. Well, do you think we'll see
And are we starting to see a catch up?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Agreed. You're never going to not be asked to fix the microwave, who, what, where, and why. That's just going to happen every year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, technology in the role. New tech is expected to affect the role. Okay, so this is a big one. Are you afraid you're going to lose your job because of AI?
Yeah. Or is it just going to morph?
I don't know. Yeah, not a huge surprise. 79% think security is a main part of the role.
Yeah,
of course.
I think the lines are getting a little blurrier between the security analyst and the system administrator.
Yeah, if you are on a small team that doesn't have a security team, that's a big deal.
Even on the big teams, right? Like, you're expected to be able to like cross-functionally communicate and understand the context of each other's role, even though it's not the thing you're doing. Like, that is just getting more and more converged to the point where I may not be operating the SIM. I might not be the one in there writing SIM detections, but I need to know what it is and how it functions in the entirety of the stack.
Yeah.
There's not the clear boundaries that exist anymore.
Well, you're the boss. You got to know. Yeah, they're going to ask you questions.
Even at the individual level,
Yeah.
you have to know. You have to have that.
Yeah. Okay, so 76% feel like their role will evolve but will remain essential. That's actually good. That's actually good. That feels like job security to me. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's good.
I think it's changing from like maybe individual system administrator to more like a orchestration level role, right? I think like things blur. It's more about automation. It's more about business systems, and it's less about the nitty gritty, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's the general change and the start we're seeing. Whether it continues, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that's the general trend, that it's at least being like presented.
So not a lot of fear of losing their job. That's good.
Yep.
That's good.
Yep.
Okay. More time managing AI with automation tools, 60%. We already saw that in previous slides. Need to be more specialized in specific technologies, 47%. So about half. 41% think AI and automation will eliminate routine and system administrator tasks. We saw that before, but maybe that'll switch going forward a couple years.
Now, these bottom half ones is where we start to see maybe like the negative connotations, right?
Yeah.
We've got about a third of respondents saying, hey, there's going to be fewer opportunities generally. And then with those fewer opportunities, the outcome is one of two things. It's either you're going to be more highly skilled, or you're going to be more strategic and less hands-on.
Yeah.
So like if you look at the bottom third of this again, it's the negative connotation of the jobs are coming down and you're going to have to do more.
So do you think that means just the job in itself will change drastically, or change a little bit and more so to integrate AI?
I think it's actually going to change a little bit, and I don't think this is going to be contained to IT. Absolutely not. I think we're going to see this across the board. I think you see people like, if I was talking to Tyler upstairs, who's the VP of accounting here, and he's like, with Claude, like I'm able to get so much done. He said, and the thing is like anyone out on my team, he's like, I've got like 15 years of experience. I can answer any technical accounting question you might have. And I can do it pretty quick, and I can do it a little faster with Claude. He said, I can go hire a first-year accounting grad, and we can now give the same answer. He said, the only difference is it might take that first-year accounting grad like 7 or 8 prompts, and they might not have like the edge in the context, but it's this kind of great equalizer.
Yeah.
If you have the base of knowledge. And I think that's important. You have to have the base of knowledge to be able to work your way through the prompts to get there.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part that is so often ignored when people talk about AI.
Yeah.
Because I could go to AI and ask it an accounting prompt, and I guarantee I would be completely lost.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, AI and autonomy, where AI will help sysadmins. 62% say report insights from system data.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. I think.
100% agree.
100%. 58% say detect, respond to security threats faster. What do you think about that one?
I think it's just, to me, that one's obvious.
Yeah.
Still aggregating data.
Yeah. AI is aggregating data. It can see
Kinda like what
signals.
Kelly was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
He's like, I fed it a bunch of data and it outputs a lot of really good stuff.
It can see the signals and noise that most humans don't recognize easily.
Yeah.
The double, like the cutting edge of that is like it can also see signals that don't necessarily exist or are meaningful.
False flags.
Yes.
How do you cut through that?
It still is like, in my opinion, on a lot of stuff, like it's a good signal, but the human in the loop approach is still kind of there. I think as models improve and get more hyper focused on the individual task at hand, right?
Okay.
Like if you go look at like Sonnet or whatever, like 4.6 right now, that model will help me write in any programming language I want. That model will also help me write a recipe for cookies. Like we're at such polar opposite ends of the spectrum there that I think over time, like this technology is going to find itself into more specialized places. And that's where we're really going to see the like boots on the ground improvement to a lot of these tasks.
Okay. AI and autonomy, fear of completely autonomous tools. Ooh, so there still is a lot of fear and looks like automation on unsupervised AI. 75% don't want to leave it unsupervised. Like,
I mean,
that's like duh.
I think this corresponds with the previous slide where it's talking about, hey, AI is great at aggregating data, finding patterns, things like that. But we don't necessarily trust it to just do the thing yet.
Yeah, like,
because we still see the hallucinations and the bad responses and just the craziness that can come from AI. So we're like, no, I can't trust it to just like give it the steering wheel and let it take control yet. I still like, I love the data it's giving me, but we're not quite there yet.
So open crawl taught us something so far.
I'm curious, like what, just to play devil's advocate, what are those like levers that needs to get pulled before you would trust a system? Do it. Like, is it? I mean, is it a slow build? Is it like some monumental change in technology? Like, what is it that will allow you, or would you ever allow that?
I mean, I'm a chicken. You know I am. Time and result. It have to be results driven for me.
And I think I mean, I wonder if you roll it out similar to how like we tell people to roll out patches, where it's like, hey, like give AI a access to work on these subsystems, and that's it for now. You know, and as you prove yourself worthy, okay, well, let's expand that reach. Now let's go into a little bit more production, a little less testing, and actually push this further and further and further. I mean, you never know what'll happen. Obviously, things can always just go bad, but I mean, that's probably the safest way to do it is you just give it a little bit more access and a little bit more access.
Sandbox it and go from there.
I think looking at the bottom end of the graph, it looks like we've got about 25, so a fourth of respondents that are worried about AI and autonomy making people less valuable to their organization.
Yeah, or replacing them altogether.
Or just outright replacement.
That seems unlikely to me just because you do need to be there, as you said, to fine-tune it and or guide it, watch it, unplug it.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario.
I don't see this as like a replacing or eliminating positions that exist. I do think it would be naive to say that it's not going to reduce the overall number in the market of positions.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to come like take your job tomorrow.
Yeah.
But what I do think is in the future, like a single sysadmin is going to be able to do more.
Yeah. It's going to be fun to watch it evolve, though, and see how these numbers change.
I mean, even the job requirements as you go out looking for jobs, like what does that job listing look like in the future? You know, what are the requirements now where it's like, hey, you need Intune experience. Is it you need Claude experience? You need, you know, ChatGPT.
Start late, like naming individual.
Yeah. So
I bet in the short term you do.
Yeah.
I bet in the short term you do, and it'll just make me chuckle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that the last slide? Drew, do we have more? Drew has a thumbs up.
it.
Okay. That is all for PDQ. I'm Tara.
I'm Josh.
I'm Brock.
Thank you so much for joining our webcast once again today. We appreciate your time. Do us a couple favors, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and join us on Discord. Trust me, that's where the party is, and you want to be part of the party. Have a great week. We'll see you back here next time.